Okay, we're back here on Lowcountry Money Talk, and really a lot of great information so far coming from expert Phil Bloyd as we navigate some of the changes happening and some current events, of course. So we've got one segment left. This is where I'm going to really take out the R word and talk about recession, because we are using that word a little bit here lately, wondering if it is going to happen. So what's your take? Do you believe we're going to enter an economic recession?
A little tricky. So, the ideal, Jessa, would be to deal with the inflation problem, raise interest rates. The question is, will the Federal Reserve, will they raise rates too quickly or mess anything up? Not that they missed inflation at all, right?
Right.
Transitory. Remember that word?
Transitory, I do, yeah.
It's not one we use every day. But we were originally told that the inflation was transitory. I think the Fed messed up on that one a bit. Now we're trusting them to make sure that they do the interest rate hikes properly.
Right.
And so the first hike, they came out with 25 basis points, which is basically 1/4%. And people are like, that's kind of low because we need to probably move up a lot faster. Then within a week's time, they came right back out and said, well, we're going to go up 50 basis points the next several times. And it's like, well, why didn't you do it the first time? I don't know. So I don't have a lot of confidence in that.
Right.
And, if they get it wrong, and a lot of people are saying, do we go ahead and deal with the inflation problem and sacrifice a recession to that? So we have a recession. What's more important, I guess?
Right. Well, that, I guess, is sort of the balancing act here. Can you stop inflation without causing the recession? Is it too late at this point? Did we miss the timing?
I mean,
we don't know, I guess, suppose.
So the relief of inflation is to lower the interest. We have to raise the interest rates, in essence, to lower them to stimulate off a recession. So we have to raise interest rates to stop inflation, and we have to have the interest rates high enough so that we can lower them to put off a recession.
Right.
So does that make any sense at all?
It's sort of a little bit counterintuitive.
But we don't have any interest rates because they've been flat for so long. So we don't have anything to cut back.
Right.
So I'm just not a big fan of this Federal Reserve because they made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, and now we're sort of in a way trying to backtrack or deal with the situation that requires changes that aren't fully possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so all that being said, let's talk about the stock market and how, is it sustainable at this point? We've also got, the real estate prices to contend with.
Yeah. I'm not an expert on real estate. I'll leave that. There's a lot of them in this area. I'll let them deal with that part. So let's think about the stock market, though, because it's actually doing better than I would have expected. But it's up and down and up and down. Not that it's not always up and down and up and down. But I think the main thing that we always say on this show is if I'm retired or soon to be retired, it's about having the correct percentage at risk.
Yes.
So we look at that Riskalyze software that we use.
Right. Well, and that's a really good point, and maybe a good one to end on, because as we've discussed all these changes and really some things that could be affecting us financially, definitely will be affecting us financially, it's a good time to really take a look at your risk and make sure you get that assessment. So you all do that, of course, at your office. And what's the best way for folks to go about that?
Just give Rachel a call. She's the one that sets up those meetings. But more now than ever, people will be, some people just feed into watch the market 24, they get nervous and all that. You're retired, so you're not supposed to be doing that.
Supposed to be golfing.
If I have a plan, if I have the right amount at risk, I'm not overly risked, then I know my plan and it will relieve the stress. But I find a lot of people just have way too much at risk.
Right.
When maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah, especially as things, just are getting more difficult to navigate, and we might be entering a recession. We'll find out. But you know what? We're going to have to chat next time, Phil. This has been a pleasure, as always. I always learn a lot. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Lowcountry Money Talk.